really bored at home, you don't have to be bored alone. Grab your paints and grab your scissors, your googly eyes and glue. Now that all your tools are handy, you can search this up on YouTube. Family Saturdays at home, Family Saturdays at home. The craftiest, the wackiest, with friends across the town. Family Saturdays at home, Family Saturdays at home. If you want to see what we're making, we encourage you to stick around. This week we have something brand new. There's an artist that lives within you. Let's get started, let's begin to make awesome crafts from home. Family Saturdays at home, Family Saturdays at home. You can be the star of your own show with Family Saturdays at home.
Well, hello again. Happy Family Saturday and welcome to Season 2 of Family Saturdays at Home on YouTube. Here at the Art Gallery, we are opening again with a new exhibition called Piqw. Piqw is all about small artworks, and if you remember, Astrid taught us how to make some tiny collage pieces for the show. Over the past few weeks, we've received and hung a lot of small artworks. For today's craft, Kate and I picked a piece from the Piqw exhibition, which sparked some inspiration for more tiny artwork. So if you still wanted to submit some of your artwork to the show, there's another drop-off date on February 11th and 12th from 10 to 2 p.m. Just remember that your artwork should not be larger than 6 by 6 inches. And our featured piece in question is right here. This piece is titled Prized Palemino, and it's by a young 12-year-old artist named Paige Romyn. We reached out to Paige and asked her if we could feature her piece in this week's Family Saturday. We also interviewed her with some questions about her creation, and she responded to us and was happy to share a little background about the prized Palemino. Paige shared with us that she used to take riding lessons, and she was infatuated with a horse there named Champion. And although Paige wasn't allowed to ride Champion, she could paint him. Paige joined art class at the Mixed Bag of Arts in Sorrento in the fall, and since then has created a few pieces, including the prized Palemino. Outside of class, she enjoys painting with her Nana. Paige also agreed to starring in her own Family Saturday, so you'll get to meet the artist of Prized Palemino next week on your screen. This week, I wanted to create a three-dimensional twist on Paige's piece. We're going to be making our own canvases, as well as drawing and painting our own horses. The three-dimensional twist is that you're actually going to be able to touch and play with the hair, and we're going to make that hair out of yarn. So what you'll need is some cardboard. You will need some yarn or embroidery thread of your choice. You will also need some acrylic paint, which will be for the horse's body, a pencil or something to sketch with. You will need water and paint brushes, some type of glue. I'm going to try using tacky glue today, and additionally some sort of thick paper. I'm going to start by showing you how to sketch a horse, and we're going to figure this out together. I've got my piece of paper and a pencil here. I'm going to start by drawing a medium circle, and down from there, a larger circle. Now you're going to create kind of a cone shape on the head here. If you mess up, that's okay. Then you're going to connect the head to the body. And you're also going to do the same. So follow this line up here. So then you're going to do the same from the front, have it kind of connect to that circle right there. So the legs are kind of where I fail, but you're going to start off by drawing two stick looking legs, one in front and then one behind the other. And it looks ridiculous, but I promise you it will look better. And we may not even need to draw all the way down to the legs since the artworks are so small. So depending on your skill in making tiny artworks, you may or may not need to do these steps. So, outline a leg shape. And horses are very strong and they have very large legs, so don't be afraid to make them big and beefy. And then they kind of have like skinnier. Yeah, I'm making the legs bigger for sure. And then they have kind of an indent in their ankle, I guess. And, oh gosh. Forgot that's step 6. This is step 7. Do the other one. And a bit of the belly that will go down there, so we'll just leave it at that. So yeah, add your details, I guess. Oh boy. There you have a kind of scary looking horse. I'm sure all you talented young artists will do much better than me. If you wanted to do the back of the horse, you would start with one big circle. One, and then kind of make a curvaceous back. Do those funky sticks again. And draw your legs. That looks better than the last one for sure. Then the hair, which will be the yarn. And then also the belly. It looks like I'm a little better at drawing the back end of the horse, but you can choose to do either, or you could do both, or I don't know. I don't have a canvas, so I am going to make one. I've already cut a piece off of this cardboard box here. So just go digging in your recycling and you can find a cardboard box. This is a good opportunity to use what you have creatively instead of going out and buying something. So when I cut that piece off, I got a sort of larger, a 8.5 inch piece right there. So what I did was I marked and measured half of 8.5 inches, which was about 4 point whatever, and I cut that. So then you have 2 pieces. We're just gonna check that the dimensions are under 6 inches. So we have almost 4.5 inches by almost 4.5 inches. So that is under 6 by 6. You could paint directly onto the cardboard, or you could use that thick paper, like I mentioned, to wrap around your canvas. I feel like this pink would really complement Paige's piece nicely. So this is what I'm going to use. You could also use just a white piece of paper. I just don't feel like painting the background myself. So I'm gonna put my cardboard down on this piece of paper, and I'm gonna make sure that I have enough that I could wrap it around my cardboard. So it looks like that's about an inch. So then on this side, I'll just mark an inch. And it can be rough, just as long as it covers your page. And I want this more rigid side to be the back of the canvas. just so and I want this more rigid side to be the back of the canvas, just so if any of the texture did show through onto our painting side, it will be a little smoother. Next, I'm going to fold these pieces in. I'm not doing anything yet, but I'm just folding them and getting a sense of where the crease line is going to be. So as you can see, it's made those creases for me. But just so that it wraps and lays a little bit nicer, these corners right here, I'm going to cut a diagonal on them. On each of them. And it will be just a little less paper to deal with. So I've got all my triangles here, and it makes the corners just a little bit neater and more tucked. Use some tacky glue, and we are going to glue these edges down. There's one. I want to grab something to just hold it there while you do the other sides. Pressing and making sure that the glue is filling that space. And with these bits that kind of come out there, you can seal the backs or the edges kind of just with your fingers. Since it dries clear. It may lift in a few areas, but that's why we are going to press it and wait a little bit of time for it to dry. But this is the front of our canvas. It's very nice and clean. So grab something heavy, place it on top, and I'm gonna go wash my hands. So our homemade canvas is most of the way dry now. We are going to apply our horse drawing steps to our tiny canvas. Staying nice and light when we are sketching onto our canvas, because those maybe harsh marks could dent our paper. I've just set up Paige's piece here for inspiration. And I've kind of already created that back circle shape, so we will do that now. And there is our sketch. I've improved some techniques from my first drawing there. The next step is to paint. I am going to be mixing kind of a chestnut color, hopefully. I think I'm happy with this kind of color here, so I'm gonna get to painting. Taking this cream color and making some white details on the horse's legs and down their face also, and down its face as well. Picking up some dark brown, and I'm gonna kind of contour under here. I've added an outline and a little bit more depth, kind of with a darker brown tone. There is that. Since it is just acrylic on paper, it has already pretty much dried most of the way, but we're going to work on the embroidery thread slash hair while we wait for it to completely dry. You can think about what kind of tones your horse's hair may have. I really like this one right here. It really has that shine. If you wanted your hair to have very majestic, shiny hair, that would be a good option. Multicolor embroidery thread, I think, is going to be perfect because it has lots of different colors and shades of brown in there, and I think it'll look nice with my horse's body color. I'm going to hold it up against my horse and see how long I might like it. Probably about this size, and you can always cut it. You can cut a bunch of pieces roughly the same size. I'm going to shape my horse's hair after anyway. You can see we have lots of different shades and colors of brown starting to form. I think that'll be enough for me. And this is where that tape comes in. Grab a couple inch size piece of tape, hold it there, and start placing the pieces of thread onto the tape. Try and get them as close together as possible. And also that they are roughly aligned on the top. Now I'm hoping that this goes the way I want it to, so grab your glue. Now I'm hoping that this works out the way that I want it to, so grab your glue and do a line of it on your hair. All right, moment of truth. Grab your painting and flip it around, and then try and line up on an angle on your piece. Kind of press it down there. Hold down the thread. Oh my goodness. Almost. Okay, that's fine. And then those will stick to your painting. And then I don't really like them all up there so much. And you can use your fingers and some glue to shape them and press them down. I need more up there, so I'm going to cut a diagonal very carefully. You can shape the hair however you want. You can put some layers in there. Give your horse some bangs. We're gonna make some longer pieces as well and do the same process for the back. Want a pretty thick tail. It's kind of cool that it hangs off the page there. I'm gonna trim it for sure, but it's kind of cool that it hangs off of the canvas there. But we want to see our horse's beautiful face, so we can go in and trim the mane how we like. Trim the bangs. Trimming it up. And if you're making for the show, the piece has to be wall mountable. So we're going to just cut a piece of twine. We're using my tape from earlier. And it doesn't have to look gorgeous on the back because no one will see it. And you can either tape or glue a piece of string there. And there we have it. I hope that you enjoyed crafting with me this week, and we hope to see some of your submissions or photos or videos of your pen pal and your tiny artworks for the Piqw exhibition. We'll see you next time.